Teamster Power 767 Reality Check with Jeff Schenfeld and Garfield Hooper.
How are we doing today, Garfield?
We're doing pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
All right.
And even I did, nobody'd listen. So
Exactly. Never. So today we're gonna talk about paid for time. Okay. We've brought this up before, and it's here's the thing. We're a union shop. I don't understand why anyone would want to work off the clock.
I
Do
don't
you
get it either.
understand that? I just, and I know why they're doing it. Like, they want to get home, right? They've got,
Yeah.
members want to get home, and management. The thing is, we're going to put this on management. This is on management. I get the member wants to get home, but they're going to put more work on the truck because they're getting the truck set up.
Yep.
And they're used to it. But the problem is, we're not going to put this on the member. I get they want to get home. I don't get the working off the clock. Management should be paying them.
Yep.
Or don't let them get on their truck then. Because it's in the contract. In Article 17, you have to be paid for it. I mean, I don't understand. It is mind-boggling. I mean, does it happen a lot in your building?
Yeah, we have several repeat offenders in our building. One of my New Year's resolution is to kind of put a stop to a little bit of that, but or all of it, hopefully. But I had this conversation a few weeks ago with our division manager when I was complaining about our load quality in our center. And he's like, well, what do we want to do? You want to do it to where, nobody can get on their trucks before start time? And I said, yeah, that's exactly what we should be doing.
Sounds good to me.
That's,
sounds good to me.
And he goes, well, yeah, that's not what these guys want. I said, no, what these guys want is for the preloaders to load their trucks correctly. And in order for them to do that, you would have to actually take the time to train them properly and, make sure that the supervisors supervise them and, make sure that they're doing the job correctly. But y'all don't want to do that.
Again, on management. Yep.
You want the drivers to come in and work off the clock and not pay them so that they can get home and get their truck set up and they can get off early. But what we want is for you to pay a Teamster employee to do the job correctly, teach them how to do it correctly, and then drivers don't have to come in for an hour early to load their own trucks just so they can have a decent day.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you what happens also. When those drivers come in, I get if you use the extra work phone list, that's what you have to use, right?
That's the point of it.
The problem, what happens is, and I mean, I've seen it. We've all seen it. The driver starts, whatever the box line they put them on, they start getting, maybe crossing over from where the part-timers are doing a truck, and maybe they'll put a package in there, and it might mess up the part-timers too. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's they could get in trouble because you don't know how many people are touching stuff.
No.
I mean, you just and that's where, like, how can management say, oh, it was this, and we're going to give you this, guilty till proven innocent. It's just, I mean, it's just ridiculous. So I want to bring up a situation. So this year, myself and 2 or 3 other stewards were filing on people coming in. One particular person coming in, and I mean, they weren't on the clock. They were coming in at 5:30 off the clock.
Good Lord.
Now, management knew they were there.
Of course they did.
But they didn't. And they knew it. And again, this is on management, okay? They should have paid them. So now what has to happen is, so we filed a seniority because the extra work, this person is lower than myself and the other people who filed. And we filed on different days. And so it's a seniority violation.
Yeah.
They didn't, use the list. They just whatever. So first, what we have to do is we have to get this heard, and we have to get this driver paid first. So once the driver is paid, then the seniority violation comes into play. You see?
Okay.
Because otherwise, there's no hours or whatnot. But we know what went on. We know, what's going on. So now we have to get this heard. It might even have to go to the panel, get them paid. They have to be paid. If they're working, they have to be paid. And once that happens, the seniority violation is officially, I mean, it was official anyway, but just it reinforces it because look, he got paid now because they had to, and but it shouldn't be, right? It
No.
just shouldn't have to go through this process. I don't, you know, I don't care. I get on the truck at the last minute. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't want to do things the right way, the company, then that's on them. They expect people. They like when the people come in off the clock, right?
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
it's free
you've seen
labor.
They don't. Yeah, it is, but that's a shame on them.
Yeah.
Shame on them for allowing that to happen.
Yep.
We put it on them. Hey, you're allowing them to do this. This is on you, and it's it's a problem. But then the members get mad at you because you're like, well, I want to get home to my family. I get that. You signed up for this job, okay? But we're a union shop. We don't work for free.
Nope.
Okay? That's just we don't do that.
No.
And it's the company enabling them. So
It's just like skipping your lunch and recording it. You're just working off the clock.
I know. I mean, come on. I mean, what? Just take your lunch.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take a half an hour now. So, okay, take the half an hour. I mean, but don't. I never understood that.
Me neither.
It's just, I mean, it's mind-boggling. It's like, and then managers be okay with it. Managers be okay. Then they'll be like, oh no, you lied. That's an integrity issue.
Yeah.
You said you were on lunch, but you were actually working.
Yeah.
So you can't. You're not going to win. You just do things. The methods. Do things,
but
the right way. Work. Get paid for working. Don't just come in.
But they're not going to do that to those people because those people are helping them out. Those people are working off the clock. They're working for free. They're giving the company money.
Yes.
So why would they discipline those people for doing that?
And that's where it's like, and what happens from that? What happens from that collaterally is the extra contract agreements. Well, I'll do this if you do this for me, and that can't happen. If a management wants to. Okay, yeah, we'll get you on a route or this and that. I mean, that's the route today, but they still have to follow seniority, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, follow seniority. Just they got to do things the right way, and they make it easy for for these extra contract agreements, and they know that some of these people won't say anything, but we have to end these extra contract agreements.
Yeah,
it's I mean, it's a problem where people they're letting in certain buildings. I saw, they weren't my buildings when I was a PA, but they're letting them, do safety during their regular hours. No, before or after. And once you start doing that, you start getting into it. Oh, it's easier and easier and easier, right? And you're not doing anything right. So I think that, I think there's got to be a change in mindset. Don't you agree?
Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, a big change in mindset.
And it's going to be hard to change those people's minds. They're always going to blame you for following that grievance. And you know what? Yeah. That's fine. Like, I'm okay being the bad guy for those people because if those people, have to, if I have to make those people realize that, their labor is worth something, their labor is valuable, then, that's kind of what I'm here for. And, in the long run, if those drivers are have to being out later because they can't load their own trucks, then maybe the company should say, hey, maybe we should train the preloaders how to do the job properly. Maybe we should, give them more time to do it. But as far as I'm concerned, if you're coming in and you're loading your own truck or you're doing whatever off the clock, all you're doing is solving the company's problems for them.
It is. And a couple of weeks ago in my center, one of the other stewards, filed to get these drivers paid, right?
Yeah.
Who were coming in early. And they were doing their stuff on their truck, and these drivers got so angry with the steward. They went overboard. And they cursed at him, and when we found out there's two other stewards, myself and someone else, we backed the steward, not because he's a steward, because he was right.
Yeah.
He's trying to hold them accountable. He's trying to get them paid. And he was cursed at, and I was pissed. So was the other steward.
Yeah.
I mean, we were pissed. You don't do that. You want to say he's being greedy. He's just, you want to file on super, like, it's like they get this whole mindset. They're going to go with you and throw other things. And you're already filing grievances on this. You're filing, you're just trying to be good. No, as stewards, we're holding people, the management accountable.
Yep.
That's what we're doing because no one else wants to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it shouldn't be that way. It's crazy. I mean, it got vicious. I mean, we had to shut that down. That was not right.
No.
I mean, I just couldn't the drivers were so mad. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I went over to him and I spoke to him. I said, "Why do you think that's okay that you did that?" I'm like, and understand they were mad. They shouldn't have said some things. They just want to get home to their family. I get it. So again, and I'm going to say this, just like anything else, this is the company's fault.
Yep.
It is. They enable this. It's just, and they're okay with it, and they want to enforce the contract when they want to enforce the contract. And when it comes to this, they should be enforcing it every day. They have to be paid if they're working. That's it. So, again, I'm always going to say it, just like if you're filing a seniority grievance, you're not filing it on the member,
No.
another member. You're filing it on management for
Yes.
allowing this.
Yes.
So we have to remember that. That's very important. Everybody, it's like a seniority grievance. It's not the other member's fault.
Yeah.
It's the management for allowing these things to happen, for saying, yeah, get on the clock before someone else who's on the call-in list. And we got to remember that. We can't fight with each other.
No.
It's not about it's the company. The company loves it when we have strife between us, you know? They love it.
And
we cannot give them that.
And the company, and when it comes down to it, if the company was doing the right thing, if they were doing their jobs, you wouldn't feel the need to come in and load your own truck. Period.
Yep. Absolutely.
You shouldn't have to worry about that. You should be able to come in 10, 15 minutes before start time, get on your truck, and be confident that your truck is loaded properly and that you should be able to find things in your truck. And if you can't do that, if you feel that your load quality is so bad that you have to get there 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning to go through your truck and make sure there's not misloads or things are in the right spot or this, that, or whatever, then the company is not doing their jobs.
No, they're not. And the thing is, what I explained to the driver who was coming in, that a bunch of us filed on company for allowing him to do this. It's by doing that they'll cut routes because you're getting it done. You see, I mean, they're cutting more routes, and when they cut routes, that's when you'll get misloads. You'll get the more packages on the trucks. And again, who is it? Whose fault is that? That's management's fault. They're not managing correctly.
Yep.
They're trying to save a dime at the employee's expense.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. And I'm just trying to show people, just like open their eyes. That's all I'm trying to show people. And some people get mad. I'm like, you're gonna get mad at me? Really?
Yeah.
And I'll keep trying to explain to them, because you can't give up on people, even though some people seem like they're just, you just got to keep trying.
Yeah.
So,
well, okay. So I've got one question
no.
for you, Jeff, because you mentioned y'all filed these grievances, and if I was a member and I wanted to put a stop to this, and I wanted to file these grievances, are you filing 2 separate grievances, or are you filing them both in one?
Well, what we do is we do a seniority, and then we
That's
want
a 48.
we do a separate one paid for time. Yes, and then a 17, so to make sure they get paid.
Okay.
Also, that the driver gets paid. So once one happens, the other's going to happen.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
So it is 2 separate
other,
grievances.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely, 2 separate grievances, and again, we're trying to make sure, and they get mad at us, and we're trying to make sure the member gets paid.
Yeah.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't get on the truck anymore because you said something. Okay, great. I mean, it's, but again, we're going to say it one more time.
Yeah.
This is on management.
Yep.
This is definitely on management. So we just, again, it's like I said, like anything else, it's a mindset. You have to change the way you think. You have to understand. So I get there are certain days you have to get home, right? That's
Yeah.
different. I get it.
Yeah.
You still don't work off the clock.
No.
You still don't. You may go a little quicker. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But you still got to work safe. But, maybe a little more kick in your step or whatever. But we all have things to do. But when you're doing it consistently, it's a bad look. It's a bad look. So, but this is something we're going to constantly trying to tell people. There were a bunch of us who other stewards said something to these people. The PA said something to the people, and it's like it's like they can't help themselves sometimes,
We had one guy in our center that was so bad about it, and he still does it to this day, is, we'd filed so many grievances on it. I think this was back when you were a business agent. The actual labor manager came in and told him to stop doing it, and he kept doing it.
It's like a problem. It's like an addiction,
Yeah.
It's if they just have to have a different mindset. It's not being lazy to work to get paid for working. That's not being lazy. It's just being smart. That's what we do. We work, we get paid. That's it. So, but I think that's very important. Like again, we say these things all the time. We're going to keep bringing these things up. It's about repetition. We're going to keep bringing it up. We're going to keep reaching members. We want them to know, do not do this. Try breaking this habit. You know what? You get mad at me, but I'm gonna keep trying it. I'm gonna keep pushing. Hey, you got to stop this.
Yeah.
And we got to make sure management is paying them.
Yeah.
So what happens if management is going to pay them? They're not going to let them be on the clock. They're not going to let them get on that truck. So, but anyway, we've important topic, very important topic, because it's what unions are about. I mean, we get paid a wage, for working, and to not want to get paid, not care about getting paid. That's just whatever it is. Just it's nuts. But anyway, glad we talked about this again. I'm going to keep talking about it, and everybody have yourself a good night.
We all deal with national language, but on this podcast, when it comes to supplemental language, we deal mostly with the southern region. And as always, it's best to get advice from your local stewards or business agents. If you would like to reach out to us with any questions, we have an email address, 767realitycheck@gmail.com. That's 767realitycheck@gmail.com.
And remember, strong people stand up for themselves, but the strongest people stand up for others.